Good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I am Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. Nomination for 3 House of Representatives by-election seats underway. Registration from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Global oil price surge after OPEC plus nations make surprise output cut. Production slashed by more than 1 million barrels per day. Violent U.S. storms kill at least 32 people across 8 states. Multiple tornadoes shatter buildings. Welcome back to NTV News, taking a look into news in detail. Now, registration of nomination for House of Representatives by-election is underway at respective district election offices. Candidacy registration is scheduled from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The by-elections have been scheduled to be held on April 23 in the Chitwan Electoral Constituency number 2, Tanahu 1 and Para 2, according to the Election Commission. By-poll in Chitwan 2 is required after Rabi Lamichhane, who was elected to the House of Representatives during the November 20 election, was relieved of the post with Supreme Court's verdict decision over his citizenship issue. The Tanahu 2 remained vacant after Ramchandra Paudel was appointed on the post of president, and in Bara 2, with Ram Sahaya Prasad Yadav's appointment to the vice president, the House of Representatives seat there has remained vacant. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has barred the use of banners, flags and musical instruments while going to submit nominations for the by-elections today. Commission spokesperson Shaligram Sharma Paudel issued the directive through a press release. According to the directives issued by the Commission, no more than 25 people, including candidates, proposers and supporters, will be allowed while going to register the nomination papers. Vice President Ram Sahaya Prasad Yadav today morning reached and took stock of health of President Ramchandra Paudel at the TU Teaching Hospital in Kathmandu. He also wished President Paudel a speedy recovery. Admitted to the hospital last Saturday after showing stomach problems, health of the president, who has been put under doctor's observation, is improving, according to a statement issued by the hospital. Earlier on Sunday, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Nepali Congress President and former Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuba, and Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Purna Bahadur Khadka reached and inquired about the health of the President. And let's take a look into a short break. More news follows up next. To stay with us. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other developments, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Narayan Kaji Shrestha said the government was committed to address problems of the victims of predatory lending. Tabling the urgent proposal of public importance in Sunday's meeting of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Prime Minister said the government would take steps to this effect as per the agreement reached with the victims. A proposal to form a commission to deal with the problems of the victims of loan sharks would be presented in the next cabinet meeting, and the bill to amend the related laws be tabled in the Parliament, the Home Minister said. The general impact of westerly wind as well as partial influence of local winds has caused rain in various parts of the country, including Kathmandu Valley. The hilly areas of the country remained partial to general cloudy since the past 2 days, according to the Weather Forecasting Division of the Department of Hydrology and Meteorology. Meteorologist Ganganagar Koti said that although the westerly wind was a bit weak, the local wind was active and there was light to moderate rainfall coupled with lightning. Thunderstorm and strong wind in hilly areas is also being witnessed at present. There is likelihood of intermittent rainfall in addition to lightning and thunderstorm in the afternoon for a few more days, since pre-monsoon is already active in the country. The weather in Tarai belt will, however, remain clear during these days, says the Weather Forecasting Division. And let's take a look into yet another break. Stay with us for more updates. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other developments, well, oil prices have surged after several of the world's largest oil exporters announced surprise cuts in production. The price of Brent crude oil jumped by more than $5 a barrel or 7% to above $85 as trading began. The increase came after Saudi Arabia, Iraq and several Gulf states said on Sunday they were cutting output by more than 1 million barrels a day. Oil prices soared when Russia invaded Ukraine but are now back at levels seen before the conflict began. However, the U.S. has been calling for producers to increase output in order to push energy prices lower. The death toll from a violent storm that whipped up tornadoes in the southern and midwestern regions of the United States rose to at least 32 over the weekend, according to officials and media reports. In Memphis of Tennessee, 2 children and an adult were found dead on Saturday after storm's heavy winds knocked trees onto several houses. Another 15 deaths from the storm, which generated tornadoes in several areas, were earlier reported in Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Delaware, Mississippi and Alabama. Scores of people were injured and many buildings damaged or destroyed. U.S. President Joe Biden declared a major disaster in Arkansas on Sunday, ordering federal aid to help with the recovery. Russia will move its tactical nuclear weapons close to the western borders of Belarus, the Russian envoy to Minsk said on Sunday, placing them at NATO's threshold in a move likely to further escalate Moscow's standoff with the West. In one of Russia's most pronounced nuclear signals since the beginning of its invasion of Ukraine 13 months ago, President Vladimir Putin said on March 26 that Russia will station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. The two Slav neighbors are formerly part of a union state and have been in talks for years to integrate further, a process that has accelerated after Minsk allowed Moscow to use Belarusian territory to send troops into Ukraine last year. The weapons will be moved to the western border of the union state and will increase the possibilities to ensure security. Russian ambassador to Belarus, Boris Gryzlov, told the state television there. A quick look into the highlights of what's coming up next. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announced his 2024 U.S. presidential candidacy on Sunday with a proclamation that set him apart from other current or potential Republican candidates. Former President Donald Trump should step aside from the race. In an interview with the ABC's this week, Hutchinson urged Trump, who launched his candidacy in November, to drop out of the race after the former president was indicted in New York following an investigation into hush money payments to a porn star. Hutchinson, who was governor of the southern state from 2015 until early this year, after previously serving in the U.S. House of Representatives, said he would make his formal announcement in Arkansas later this month, but has decided to run. Time now for sports update. Chelsea have sacked manager Graham Potter, the London club said on Sunday, after a string of poor results left the expensively assembled team 11th in the Premier League. Potter had been signed by Chelsea's new ownership in September after they prized him away from Brighton and Hove Albion, but the Englishman lasted 31 games, winning only 12 before the owners pulled the trigger. While Potter oversaw wins in the Champions League, where they topped their group after beating AC Milan twice and knocked out Borussia Dortmund, their league form nosedived as they fell out of the top 4 and into the bottom half of the table. His last game in charge was Chelsea's 2-0 loss at home to Aston Villa on Saturday, which led to boss and jeers from the fans at the Stamford Bridge. At the result, left them 12 points off the top 4 and in danger of missing out the next Europe next season. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. To wrap up, a quick reminder of the top stories. Nomination for 3 House of Representatives by-election seats underway. Registration from 10 a.m. to 4. Global oil price surge after OPEC Plus nations make surprise output cut. Production slashed by more than 1 million barrels per day. Violent storms kill at least 32 people across 8 states. Multiple tornadoes shatter buildings. And that's all for now. We'll bring you another news bulletin in Nepali at 1 o'clock, and our next English news will bring you right at 6 in the evening. Keep watching Nepal television. Have a great day. Namaste.